Thanks to Brexit, some banks relocated their jobs from London to Frankfurt. Hamburger Bank is going against the trend and will in future be managing the business from London. While numerous banks had recently relocated jobs from London to Frankfurt in response to Brexit, Berenberg is currently going in exactly the opposite direction in one area though. The Hamburger Bank is reorganizing its corporate finance business in continental Europe. Instead of distributing it to Frankfurt, Paris or Brussels as before, it is to be controlled centrally from London in the future. We will move the Continental Europe Corporate Finance Unit to London, Fabian de Smet, head of investment banking in the region, told Bloomberg. We are moving from a generalist local approach to a sector-oriented centralized approach. After Berenberg had mainly looked after small companies in this area for a long time, mid-caps had recently also come into focus, for which a local approach was less important. According to de Smet, Berenberg's corporate finance team in London will grow from the current 10 employees to around 20 to 25 people. The overall size of the team does not change though. We are offering affected employees to move to London or find other roles at Berenberg at their current location, said de Smet. Some colleagues have already agreed to move. Above all, there are still vacancies for the healthcare and finance sectors, he said. Financial News was the first to report on the plans to move. Berenberg, the second oldest bank in the world after Banca Monte dei Paschi di Siena, had already recruited more staff at its London location last year. The number of employees there increased from 433 to 490. In Frankfurt, the number of employees also increased, but by far not as much. Banks that continue to strengthen in Frankfurt include JP Morgan Chase & Co. staff in Germany and is expected to grow by up to a quarter this year, which should take the number of employees in Frankfurt to around 700. That's what the Germany chief Stefan Povali recently said. And so it is just a small group of people moving from Frankfurt to London. But it is surprisingly a case that could be found, and that's why it's in the reports at the moment. But the majority is moving the other way around. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.